top news, politics, and Nigeria. We talk page by page on Oromi Royal Television. My name is Gratitude Imokode, and this is still the All Topic segment on page by page where we talk about happenings across the state and in our society. With me is an amazing colleague to do justice to the said topic of discussion for today. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing very well, gratitude. You're looking paying as always.
I think amazing yourself.
Good day, our amazing viewers. You're welcome to yet another segment of Page by Page on Romi Royal Media. My name is Bubu Durugo.
Thank you so much. And we have an amazing guest in the studio with us this morning. I'm sure you're already familiar with his presence and his approach to our political topics. He is a political analyst and an amazing personality. In person of Mr. Prince Chilaka. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Morning. It's people like you that make this government feel that they're doing something reasonable.
What?
When you dress like this, the government will just tell you everything is well when nothing is working.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. So, talking about moving direct into our topic of discussion for today, we have two topics of discussion. And Bubu, what's the first area?
So the first one, we're talking about the Osun State gubernatorial election taking place on Saturday and the happening that's been going on. And it leaves a lot of questions. We've seen the Edo State governor coming out to bash Mr. Senator Ademola Adeleke, to say he doesn't do any other thing apart from dancing. And Davido giving a stern warning to the Edo State governor, Mr. Monday Okpebolo, that he should stay clear of the state and also fix the happenings going on in Edo State. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, if there's anybody that should come out to chastise, so to say, Adeleke, it's not the likes of Monday Okpebolo. A man who cannot keep tab with figures, a man who cannot speak straight, a man who doesn't even understand what governance is all about. Unfortunately, Nigeria is a country where we have the worst of us ruling the best of us and creating situations that you don't even understand. We just have leaders, people who call themselves leaders, and yet the country is not moving forward. In the last how many days now, flood is disturbing movement in Edo State. Meanwhile, the governor is not finding a solution to it, but you're busy castigating somebody else. We have a country where politics has become the bane of everything. Nobody talks about how to move this country forward. Nobody talks about development. Nobody talks about the educational sector that has collapsed. Nobody talks about the medical sector, the hospitals that are not available, bad roads. All we talk about is politics. And the reason is because those who get into politics are benefiting from the largesse that comes with being a politician.
Very true. So now, in anticipation to the gubernatorial election in Osun State, talking about vote buying, hunger, and political incentives, over the weekend we saw a story where one of the APC candidates, Oyebanji, branded bread as political incentives for election to give to people as a means of vote buying and all of that. But now I have a particular question, and can we see that, or can we say that the government are using hunger and poverty as an instrument to, get rallies for their election?
No, the government, it's not that whether they are using. The government has deliberately, across the entire country, institutionalized poverty. And when you institutionalize poverty, what it means is that the people now begin to beg you. The people now begin to look up to government for their pittance, for their survival. We need to have institutions in Nigeria that can develop this country. Institutions that will create an opportunity for you and I, equality. That is what we need. And this can only work when government is sincere and when government says, look, it is time for us to move away from what we're doing. This issue of bread sharing did not start with him. It's an APC thing. APC creates hunger and looks for another way to say, we want to give you food. Don't forget that the Speaker of Lagos State of Assembly, Osun State, did the same thing. He shared bread. They were throwing bread at people. So it's like when people are hungry and you just feel, well, they're just ordinary people. They have no say. But you see, I tell this to Nigerians. Anybody who picks up bread on the street or who collects bread from a politician is a fool. Anybody. That hunger, that bread will quench for you in that moment will be worse in the next 4 years. Because when that person who is giving you bread today becomes a governor, the first thing you want to do is to recoup the money you used in producing that bread and sharing it to you.
Very true.
So nothing goes for nothing. No, there is no free lunch even in Freetown. So Nigerians must be able to wake up and say, look, this whole shenanigans have to end. And the only way to end is the people. The people must say, we are fed up and tired of this kind of politicking that is going on in this country. We want something better. We want people to come and, run their campaigns based on issues, not running campaign based on what you think you can give the ordinary man on the street. Unfortunately, as it is today, we're even eroding education from our political system. You see what INEC published, where somebody who wants to contest election jumps from primary to secondary, and somebody will come out and tell you, oh, brilliant people don't go to primary and secondary schools. What kind of country do we have? Where do we get these people that are calling themselves leaders? Where are they coming from? Are they coming from the moon? Yet, in this same country where, with the ordinary school cert, you cannot get a job as a managing director of any organization. You can't even get a job as an office assistant. Yet, the politicians don't even want to go to school. And the ones that didn't go, they want to bring out forged documents, forged results. But yet, it's still the same country that a young girl was said to have cheated in JAM, and the country was going to explode. In one hand, we want to have quality education for our children. On the other hand, our leaders don't want us to go to school. They are the ones creating the problem. And then you have a National Assembly that is moribund, just like National Orientation Agency. It's unfortunate the way things are going in this country. We seem to be drifting far away from civilization. And it is really, really painful. What has played out in Osun State, where a man who wants to be governor, they are sharing bread, that man should be ashamed of himself. If he has a family member, and he hears that his family member went to a rally ground or a campaign ground and collected bread, what will he tell that person? But then, it's unfortunate, Nigerians, the ball is in your courts. Do whatever you want to do. I keep telling Nigerians, you need to wake up. You need to smell the coffee while it's still hot. We need to tell ourselves the truth. This crop of leaders we have today, we must find a way to get them out.
Okay, sir. I have something that Mr. Monday Okwegbolo said, and I want to run it by you and also ask you something. He said, collect on the day of the election, collect money from the Accord Party and vote for the APC if they share money. Does that mean that he's openly confessing to vote buying, and which is constitutionally wrong?
Do we even follow the constitution of this country? The rules of Nigeria has two rules.
Yes, sir.
One for the rich, one for the poor.
Oh.
And every day you wake up, pray that the rule for the poor does not get to you. If a sitting governor can open his mouth to say this, it simply shows you that the 2.5 million or 3 million votes he's promising Mr. President in January during the presidential election is going to be vote buying. It's going to be rigging.
Very true.
Because already he's giving you an indication of what is going to happen. Our politicians open their mouth and they spew rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. And then you have people who will sit in the crowd clapping. And I ask myself, you people that are clapping, are you clapping that your senses are loose, or are you clapping that you're insane?
Exactly.
You see, like I said, there are people who shouldn't even draw close to leadership. They shouldn't draw close to it at all. But Nigeria is a country where anything goes. And the youths of this country, man, I pity you now. When I don't know anything they up. When I know, when eyes go open. Some of us who talk these days, how many more years do we have? Well, you guys got a lot of years in your hands. And you're allowing the old brigade to damage it. And you're all keeping quiet. And you are all keeping quiet. Today, what you hear, every school, student union talking about his net fund, and I ask, you that you're carrying net fund on your head, did your father go to school on loan? Did anybody in government today go to school on loan? Most people in government today are beneficiaries of free education in one way or the other.
Very true.
But then they're telling you now for you to go to school. First of all, government was instrumental to increasing the school fees. So in one hand, they commit a crime. On the other hand, they tell you want to correct it. You increase school fees. And then you now said, okay, we'll give you loan. And how many of them, I keep asking, how many of them went to school on loan? They're all freeloaders. And because they're freeloaders, that is why they want to die in power. Because all their life, they've been benefiting from government. Most of them don't even know how much fuel is costing. Just like the wife of our president said, women, people should go and start frying
Oh,
akra and
please.
all of that. No, but see, and there's something she didn't add to that. There's something she forgot. When you go out here now, you mount a stand and you start frying akra, local government will come and carry your store. Area boys will come and extort you. But people were clapping. People saw it as a good business venture.
You know, those people clapping are the people that I really have issues with.
They saw it as a good business venture, but they're not asking what happens after that. So if you're asking me, okay, I can start frying akara, then you're not telling me where is the space. Do I have the money to rent a space to fry the akara? So the way our leaders behave in this country,
It's really
and then they all travel abroad. They all leave the shores of Nigeria. And they see the beautiful things there. Yesterday I was coming back from Calabar. I was at the airport, waiting. One of the former governors of the state, just on his own. He wasn't sitting in VIP. He was sitting where everybody was seated. He boarded the flight with us. There was nobody running around to clear the road. No, power is transient. And until those who hold on to it realize it, the better for them.
the better for them. Now, still talking about political misconceptions, we saw over the weekend where Senator Orji Kalu came out to urge Tinubu to forgive those who stole Nigerian monies, to forgive this kind of atrocities and crimes. And it just boils me down to a question. Is recovering stolen money from these people important than persecuting those who stole it? Because it now feels like they are championing criminalities and so many atrocities that shouldn't even be done in the first place.
Orji Uzor Kalu is one man I try to avoid not to talk about because it's not what being talked about. This was a man who had sway 8 years in Abia State. He has no legacy. He has nothing to his name in Abia State as the former governor of that state. He's been in the Senate for how many years now? What can the people say that they have benefited from him? The only time we saw him was when he was crying that they didn't allow him to become the Senate president. Because he said that it was not yet time for the Igbos to become president. And when he wanted to become Senate president, no. The Igbos said, no, it's not yet time for us Igbos to become the Senate president. So there are people, when they talk sometimes, you ask yourself, are they normal? Are they okay upstairs? How can you steal our collective wealth? You embezzle it. And then a senator will open his mouth and say, forgive.
Forgive.
I mean, what is going on? How do these people sleep at night? How do their families view them? How do their wives and their children see them? And yet, you have a lot of young Nigerians languishing in jails. Stole a tuber of yam, stole a goat here, stole 50,000 here. Yet, you're asking that those who have pushed this nation to where it is today, where people cannot afford 3 square meals a day, where nobody is giving account of the revenue being generated, asking that they be forgiven. Everybody who has stolen money in this country today in government is a bandit. And because they are bandits, you are now asking that they have repented. Just like the bandits will repent and you absorb them back into the same society that they have harmed the people. So Senator Orji Uzor Kalu is saying that all of them who have been in government, including himself, anybody who has stolen 1 naira from the coffers of the Nigerian government is a bandit and a terrorist. And as such, we should mete out the same treatment we give to the bandits. And what is that? Repentant bandit. We have to absorb them back.
Back in society.
Honestly, I feel disappointed. I feel disappointed that Nigeria is a country where you have people call themselves senators, but they are far from being the real senators they should be. You have people who call themselves senators, yet they cannot sit down to make laws that would benefit the ordinary Nigerians. 2027, the same Orji Uzor Kalu will come out and want to contest to become a senator again. You people from Abia State, his constituency, you've heard. I hope you people are listening. I hope Nigerians are looking at the faces of those who are busy bleeding this country. I hope that everybody will have their voters card to be able to say enough is enough. And I hope that our youths will wake up to realize that their silence is not helping this nation. Any nation where the youths are silent, that nation does not prosper. It is a clarion call to the Nigerian youths. Ask yourselves what you want. You saw what they did to Nigerians in South Africa. How they chased our people away from South Africa. We're keeping quiet. Maybe when other nations begin to chase Nigerians away, and you, our youths, now realize you cannot leave the shores of Nigeria, maybe that is when you guys will sit up. Maybe that's when you guys will demand for accountability. Maybe that's when you guys would demand for transparency. Maybe that's when you guys would say to yourselves, it is time to take back this country. To the likes of Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, time will tell. And that time is drawing close. When we will ask for those who have taken money from this country, we will ask you to bring it back. We will not be interested in plea bargaining. No. We ask you to bring it back and we'll ask that you be punished. I think there's a president, is it Botswana president? Yes, I think so. When he was holding a meeting and he said, look, I am going to recover every kobo from those who have stolen money. I am shocked and miffed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who people saw as a strategist, who is a professional politician, have not been able to say, it is time for us to set this country aright. It is time for us to move this country forward. It is time for us to ensure that the Nigerian people breathe. Senate President Akpabio, you have always said allow the poor to breathe. The poor, they don't even see the oxygen. They don't even have the strength to breathe anymore. Because you people that are the political class, you are holding the entire nation to ransom. We hope that by the time you guys finish your tenure, we will still have a Nigeria that some of us will call Nigeria.
So letting the poor breathe out, we've still on what the distinguished senator representing Abia North, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu said. We've heard this over the years, join the APC and your sins are forgiven. And we've seen it play out over and over again, where the governor of Benue State, Governor Samuel Otom, left the APC and went to the PDP in 2018. And the EFCC actually froze the state account of Benue State. That is one incident. Like, it's been like the same thing. If you have a case with the EFCC, it's you join the APC and everything. And we can also see it in Osun State, where the governor of Osun State, who is not a member of the APC, is being tormented, permit me to use the word tormented, by the EFCC, you understand? So, like, it's as if it's a continuous pattern where they're like, it's either you're joining us, it's either you're with us, rather, or you make life a living hell for you.
The problem is not about joining the APC. The problem is that there's a flaw in the constitution. And that flaw starts with the fact that you go to Party A to contest an election. You win under the banner of Party A. Now, the people who voted you in Party A, they saw Party B, they saw Party C, they saw Party D. But they decided that they want Party A, and that's why they voted you. And then tomorrow you wake up from sleep. You say you now want to go to that same party they rejected on the polls, at the polls. You go and join that party. And you're going, not only as an individual, you're going with the position you were holding in Party A. You now go back to join Party B and you keep the same position. Is that not aberration?
Okay, sir. Are you trying to say that Nigerians vote political parties instead of individuals?
To a large extent, what do you see on the ballot paper?
The political party, but constitutionally, the political parties should be like a tool or a boss to.
Have you not noticed that everybody contesting election under APC goes to Abuja to get anointing?
Anointing?
Yes.
And what could that be?
The governorship candidate of Abia State, I think he had a press conference sometime last week. He said, I am the candidate of Mr. President.
Yeah.
Is that what he should be saying? And why did he say that? Because Orji Uzor Kalu said that from the look of things, there is no vacancy in government house in Abia State. The same Orji Uzor Kalu, who months before said that we are going to push away the governor. But you see, the reality is that it's not about the governor, it's not about the party in Abia now, it's about the governor. Yes. Alex Otti, he has done wonderfully well. And the people are happy with him. So anybody coming to contest against him, you just waste your money. So when Orji Uzor Kalu said what he said, he knew where it was coming from. But the candidate had a press conference, he kept hampering on the fact that he has gone to Mr. President, that Mr. President cannot abandon him, cannot leave his party candidate and support. I mean, the problem with our political system is there are no more issue-based. It's about federalism. It's about who would do this, who will not do that. So if you're asking whether we vote people or individuals, we vote more of political parties. But there are individuals who now wear the cloak to represent these political parties. So if you look at it, if you look at everything that is happening, it becomes obvious to you that until we, I keep saying we, a lot of my friends will say, when you say we, who are you referring to? I say Nigerians, and you say, which Nigerians? Say you and I. That flaw in the constitution that allows you to decamp from one party to another is something that needs to be taken out. We are here now in your TV station. You cannot leave this place today, resign from here, and go to another TV station because you're a general manager here. You go to another TV station, you say you must be general manager. It doesn't work. The politicians have taken advantage of the gullibility of the Nigerian people.
Very true. So now talk about Nigerians and the decadence in our moral system. I want to bring something to our awareness. I feel like we need to enlighten Nigerians of how much trouble we've gotten into. So weeks back, this actor Ugo Nwokolo came out to say that Yahoo boys are helping our system. Yahoo boys are contributing significantly in the Nigerian system. And months ago, where the chief of defense staff came out to say we should forgive the bandits, that their prodigal sons waiting to be forgiven. Now, Kalu Uzor coming out to say that Tinubu should forgive people who had loot monies and all of that. So this just says a whole lot about how we're now beginning to normalize these crimes in our society. Now, the common man out there who is into picking pockets or theft will think that these are normalities in our society. So we need to make Nigerians understand that this has to stop, and it all starts from us.
Let me tell you the truth. Take it to the bank. Nigeria as of today is a failed state. The only thing that is keeping Nigeria together is the resilience of the people. Remove that, you will see anarchy. You will really understand that the moral decadence has eaten deep. Do you know how many series of the custom make every day? Hard drugs, arms, expired medications. Who bring them in? Nigerians. Who do they want to use it on? Nigerians. So the system has failed. The system has completely collapsed. And we must be honest with ourselves. And that's why I keep asking. I say, these are a crop of leaders. Where did they come out from? Which womb gave birth to them? To a lot of people, it is funny. But when you sit back to look at it, you ask yourself, where are we headed? How did we get into this kind of situation that seems to have no solution? This is a country where you're hearing that one man masterminded the setting up an operation of 3 fake government agencies. One man. 3 fake government agencies. As fake as they want us to believe it were. The man was holding meeting with diplomats. He was holding meeting with government officials. And you tell me that everything is correct in this country. Nigeria, everybody don't mad. Now, just the truth be that. Everybody don't. Because sometimes when you talk about Nigeria, you cannot but be upset with the system. You cannot be but be upset. We have, when you keep doing something wrong, it will convince yourself that that thing you're doing wrong is the right thing. So those who are in the top echelon that keeps embezzling money, now for them, it is normal. Government officials don't steal in thousands anymore. They don't even steal in millions. They steal in billions and trillions. And you will be shocked that if you bring all those who have stolen Nigerian money, you bring all the money together, nobody in Nigeria should be poor. Nobody in Nigeria should go to bed empty hungry. We should all be able to have the minimal that life can offer. Today you see Nigerians walking the street and, I don't know how people do it, but if you go to supermarket these days, especially the supermarkets that are on the road, as you're walking in, you see about 5 people standing outside. You think they're coming to shop? No. They just tell you, okay, please, can you buy me bread? The reason why we don't see people going to dustbins is because that system has, people just pack sand, get everything together. But it's gotten that bad. Things have gotten that bad. And those who have stolen from Nigeria should not be asking for forgiveness. They should bring it out so that the people can benefit from what God has given to them.
Okay, sir. Let me quickly ask this finally before we conclude. Does accountability in Nigeria now, is accountability in Nigeria now based on evidence like coming from the point of political leaders, is it based on evidence or based on the political party you belong to when the evidence show up?
When you say does it, I mean, we don't even see anything like accountability in Nigeria anymore. You know, we have a system in Nigeria where you get arrested and the investigation will start. Ordinarily, the police and the EFCC or whichever agency should complete the investigation. So when you're arrested, the facts are put before you and you're charged to court. But in Nigeria, they arrest you, keep you in the cooler, and they start investigation. So how do you talk about accountability? Who do you hold responsible? Do you hold somebody you elected? See, let me tell you, until we have a system where we can stand up and say, Oga, Senator, you don't do, you know, represent us well, come back, without going through the eye of a needle. I mean, passing through, a camel passing through the eye of a needle to recall a senator, to recall a honorable member. This country cannot move forward. And that's why I keep saying that our problem is lack of institution that is working. We need to have an institution. You see, look at the American system. If you had followed the last election when Donald Trump lost the election, the moment Joe Biden was declared the winner, what happened? The whole security architecture moved. They didn't want to have to wait for instruction from Donald Trump. No, because that's the system. The system must work independent of who Mr. President is, independent of who Mr. Governor is. But in Nigeria, systems work based on who calls the shot.
Okay, sir. Let me take you back a little. You made mention of the Senate should stop candidates moving from one party to the other. But we've seen the man that is looking like Nigeria's favorite candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, move from one party to the other. He has been in ABGA, he's been ADC, now he's in the NDC, he's previously Labour Party, PDP. So,
Point of order, sir.
okay, sir.
When Peter Obi was moving from one political party to another, did he move as a governor to those parties? Did he move as a senator and retain the senatorial seat? No, let us be honest with ourselves. You have a freedom of association. But when Peter Obi, when he left PDP, did he leave PDP as a governor? When he left ABGA to PDP, isn't it? Did he move as governor from ABGA as a governor to PDP as a governor?
No, as a candidate.
It doesn't matter. These things don't count. What we're saying is that you have freedom of association. And we're saying that if you are holding an elective position in A and you want to move to B, leave that position where it is. If you do that, a lot of people will not move. We will not begin to have a system where there's ideology. As it is today in Nigeria, there is no ideology in governance. The political parties have no ideology. That is why everybody can move where they want to move to. But if, as a free person that want to contest an election, I am free to move to any party I want to move to achieve that aim. But what we are saying is that when you have gotten into a party A, and the people have given their vote, and you have become their representative, you cannot take that instrument of office to another party. That is an aberration. And that is something we need to stop.
So let me quickly...
Do you think that all the governors that come from their various parties to APC, if as the time they were decamping, they were not going to be governors, do you think they would decamp? They will not decamp. All the senators that moved, do you think they would have moved if you know that someone like Orji Uzor Kalu, let's assume he's in PDP, and he wants to leave PDP because he believes in the ideals of APC, and he moves to APC. Do you think if he knows that he's going to lose that senatorial seat, he will move? Our politicians are all greedy and selfish.
Okay, talking about greed, I have a list of some people who held political offices that were accused of embezzling funds in their billions and in their millions of dollars. The first on my list is former Senator Dimitri Alamisia, who was the former governor of Bayelsa State. I don't know if you remember that, sir. I think he was convicted of 2.9 billion naira as of 2007. The next person, Yahaya Bello, I think the case is still in the EFCC and is still in court.
No, but Yahya Bello here now is going to contest for Senate. So you see, these politicians are taking Nigeria for granted. The politicians have no respect for the ordinary Nigerians. And that is why Nigerians are saying that their votes don't count.
So let me just take few more recent happenings. Talk about Mrs. Desiani Maduka and Mele Kyari, the former DG of the NNPC, for 210 trillion naira. So in time past, we've seen a lot of looting coming out from these people who have held political office. And another thing I go to ask is, if okay, we recover this funds or this looted funds, what then does this go into? Because we've seen time and time again that recovered loot. Let's give an example from the case of Abacha. Nothing has been done. It's as if the loot is being relooted by the same people in office. So we have to come to the end of today's segment on Page by Page. So thank you very much for coming to grace our episode, sir.
You're welcome.
You've been laughing. It's really hilarious. The last part you mentioned about looting money, it's something worthy of laughing. Because why would you come out as a senator, as someone who represents the country, this nation, and say that, okay, we should forgive criminals or forgive such criminal acts? It says a lot about your person, not even about the office you occupy at that moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis Chilaka, for doing justice to our topic of discussion. And to all amazing viewers out there, thank you so much for staying with us on this amazing episode of the Hot Topic segment on Page by Page. And also don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and X. My name is Gratitude Imokwede.
And my name is Bubu Durugo. Bye for now.
Bye for now.